Welcome on in to Reading Between the Wines. It's Wine Down Wednesday, Wine Wednesday. We made it to another Reading Between the Wines. We have special guest tonight, author, writer, Miss Leah Michelle. She was on the 4-1 podcast once before. So here she is tonight on Reading Between the Wines. So we get to hear about her book and everything. It's going to be great tonight. Yeah, so we here. Though it wasn't easy. I'm not gonna sit out here and act like, everything was just so wonderful before we got here today. This has been a process for me to actually get here tonight. And one thing when I spoke about, what I do here with podcasting and speaking and writing is basically keeping it real. So I have to just be honest, and it's just one of those days. And I feel like this Mary joint PMS offered a No More Drama album. They say that men go through, some of these things too. So I was speaking to a coworker today, and I was like, yeah, it's just one of those days. And when you dig deep into this PMS record from my girl Mary, she basically lets you know that some days she just don't want to be bothered. She just want to be left alone. And that definitely was one of the vibes that I was feeling and that I was carrying today. What's going on? Infused with booze. I love the new name. That's just one of the vibes that I was carrying today. But then I understand what the power of music and what that does too. So the music has actually got me to a point where I'm actually up now because I had so many things that was bringing me to a point of where I wanted to crawl into my little box and I want to be bothered. So we here, and also we got some you know wine here tonight. Make sure we got this label showing. Sometimes I don't get it right. The lighting messes it up sometimes. But in any case, we also got some wine here tonight to, help things just come across just a little bit better. So, welcome to Reading Between the Wines. I'm gonna get into this bottle here too. Venetian Moon Pinot Grigio from California. And it says Venetian Moon Pinot Grigio is a bright and elegant grape with a golden glow. The name Venetian Moon was inspired while gondola gliding down Venice's narrow canal on a moonlight night, on a moonlit night, excuse me. The reflections of the Venetian moon cascade on the water and soft musical ambiance created the perfect lover's paradise. This Pinot Grigio is a medium bodied, well balanced wine, aromas of fresh citrus on the nose, and followed by juicy grapefruit. hmm Pairs well with a wide variety of foods, including seafood, chicken, turkey, and pasta, and a light cream sauce. So I will tell you that this is real smooth. I mean, some Pinot Grigios can give you a little after, I call it a little after bite, but it's an aftertaste. This one is real smooth. 12%. Like I said, I was in my feelings a little earlier today, so this Pinot Grigio just might come across real good tonight. And see how much of this bottle I get through tonight. Welcome to Wine Down Wednesday. Reading Between the Wines. Go ahead and tag your friends. Like, comment, share. Do whatever you need to do. Drop it in the comments and let me know what you were drinking on, what you sipping on, and maybe you ain't drinking and you ain't sipping on none. Maybe you want to. What's your drink of choice? Drop it in the comments and let me know. Now, I have to give a special thank you to each and every one of you out there who support me. I appreciate you coming in, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whether you stay for the whole show. I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much. It ain't easy. There's songs, from like De La Soul that it ain't all good. Some people think just because you hear doing this that, it's all good. But sometimes it's not. Just like I said today, what really wasn't one of those days where I really wanted to be bothered and I really, wasn't really feeling it. I'm thankful that I'm here now. I'm thankful I got over myself and, I'm here, but sometimes it ain't all good. So songs like that remind me of this whole process and keep me grounded and never let me get to a point where I get so big headed and beside myself. But during that process, I really have to thank each and every one of you out there for supporting people who check me out. I appreciate that. And I really need you to help support by checking out the replay the other night that I had with my friend Miss Shelly McGowan. She has two businesses. What's going on, Joe Calico, all the way from Brooklyn? I think we got two people from New York up there, or Jersey, one of them. Cakes by the Pound, thank you for joining in. Shelly McGowan, check out that replay. Lyd and Mari is her business. She's a personal stylist and she can help get you together. My brother, Mr. Nate Perry from Brooklyn, New York. I love that Apollo picture that you just posted up. Y'all go ahead and check him out at Nate Perry Photography. He just did a dope a picture of the Apollo Theater. Check out my brother there. He definitely helped, keep me looking a certain way. Just check him out. I can't even say enough about him. And Jolie, Soul Sense, We Good Media, Will Serve, Onyx Blade from New York as well. I got mad love for New York, and I love everybody out there. I appreciate that. We have Rowang all the way from South Korea, still, checking in with me and keeping up with me. I appreciate that. My Survivor Voice podcast, my fellow podcaster, Miss Danny, go ahead and check out her podcast. Jason T. Davis, all the way from California. If there's anybody from California, please drop it in the comments. Actually, I really want you to DM me and get in touch with me. Text me. We got some big things coming from California. I just want to say, anybody from California, please hit me up. Author Tori Ross, she's been on plenty of times on Reading Between the Wine. She is the smutty book lady, and I think she has a new book coming out called Blue Balls or something like that. It's adult like reading type, so if you really want to check that out, um, author Tori Ross. I do have to apologize if the microphone picks up a little bit of activity that I got going outside. I got people playing in the pool, and I forgot to get that under check, get that under wraps. So you might hear some water splashing and stuff like that, but that's what that is. Who else we got? Oh, also Danielle from Posh and Pretty Brow Bar. I want to say what's up to Texas. Thank you for supporting. And yeah, we're gonna rewind this thing a little bit and take it back. And I don't even know how it just ended up. Me having a day, feeling a certain way. It is what it is. I got this bottle of wine here. I'm in my feelings about something totally different that ain't got nothing to do with we getting ready to talk about, but it's gonna make me go down a certain path. I just know myself. I'm gonna try to keep it neutral and keep it a certain way. But what are some stupid things that we do when we are dating? The last situation that I had, the last date. Can y'all believe after all of the shit that I've been through, all of the stuff that I've been talking about on this podcast, can you believe I would say one of the stupid things that happened to me, maybe I didn't do it, is the ex showed up on a date. But here's the thing. People who know me know that that's just something that I just don't do. But it was to test me. It was to make sure that I'm standing tall and being true to who I am. Because the old me would have flipped out, had a fit, said absolutely not, this ain't working. But the ex showed up on a date. Wasn't invited, but showed up on a date. And I had to, go through this process in order to get through to the other side and get all that stuff up out of me, because that whole X thing is something that I'm just not feeling. But that's a stupid thing. One stupid thing that I've done in the past is maybe you talk too much about the past. Talk about your ex situation. Talk about what you've been through, what you ain't gonna put up with, and what you're not gonna do. And you know, new you, new situation. This is that. That's definitely one thing. Another stupid thing that happens sometimes is when you just talk too damn much. You don't get a chance to listen to what the other person is saying about themselves, if you're too busy just all talking and trying to sell yourself. Hmm. I know I listen a lot. I listen a lot more than what I've ever done before, but sometimes people can take that in a different way too. Sometimes you don't talk enough. What are some stupid things that people do while, on a dating scene? I'm still going through the process. This whole new dating, swiping left and right. One minute I say I'm not doing it, the next minute I'm doing it. Then I'll say I don't want it anymore. But then this is the way that the world is, and this is what we do. Help me out, y'all. What are some stupid things that we do? Maybe y'all might help me so I don't do some of these stupid things when, I'm in these situations. Cakes by the Pound says a lot of people listen to respond instead of listening to understand. Absolutely. I used to be that person, listening to respond, and always got to have that quick thing instead of just listening to understand. Because when you listen to understand and a person really tells you who they are, mm, you got to listen to understand who the hell is in front of you and what the hell they telling you. Now check this. After we get past that, after you want to said some stupid things, done some stupid things, when you get back with yourself, because this happened to me with all these little labels and shit. After you get back to self and you sit and reflect a little bit, be like, now, was it worth it? What did I do to make this situation turn out the way it did? Maybe you don't feel a certain way, but why am I feeling a certain way on the inside? And the question that I have is, do we complicate our experiences? Because these are nothing but experiences. Just like what we got going on here right now in the reading between the wine situation here. This is an experience. Everything that we do in life is an experience. And this is, me breaking through, you know, into to my knowledge and understanding because I never thought like this before. So this is an experience, right? But do we complicate and mess up our experiences by adding labels to our situations? So I don't want to hear none of that. So what we got going on? Who are you to me? Who am I to you? Do we complicate our experiences by adding on all of these labels? Now, do we need to go down, right, and talk about some of the labels that we add and we put on to people? We talked about the whole dating situation. So as we going through, right, LTR, y'all know what that is. FWB, we already know what that is. This is Bay, this, that, next, the other. Do we complicate our experiences by adding all these labels to our situations? My thing is today is that I have no expectation. This is just me. Y'all, you do what you want to do. You say what you want to say. Don't be putting no labels on me, and let's not have any expectations. Because the last time I told somebody no expectations and no labels, they ain't listen. They wanted to put some labels and expectations, and now people get their feelings hurt because you're not doing or you're not, I guess, acting a certain way that people want you to be. I don't know. It is what it is. It's crazy complicated. People don't want to be trapped into a box nowadays. I don't know. Whatever. Do we complicate our experiences by adding labels to our situations? And I say, yeah, we do. I think we do. And if you ain't doing it, the next person is. That's just me. Maybe I just been through something. I don't know. Coming out of something. That's just my experience. I don't know. You tell me. Let's see what our special guest, author Leah Michelle, has to say. And I think someone asked about the author's name. I think it was Tori Ross, author Tori Ross.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good. Welcome to Reading Between the Wines. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, we finally made it. I know it's been some time.
Yes,
Now, I don't know. Can you hear all that noise in the background?
I can.
I apologize, y'all. I should have corrected that and just closed a couple windows and stuff before. And it is what it is. You're just going to have to get through it. That's a lot. so, question that I have is: do we complicate our experiences by adding labels, too many labels to the situation?
Oh, good one. That's a great question.
And
And we do.
reason why I ask is because we got all these labels: LTR, FWB, Bay, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, fiance. This that. I just think we complicate it by doing too much, and especially in the beginning. When you first meeting somebody and you first knowing somebody, you're not going to figure it out on, you know, I still don't think you would figure it out within the first year or two.
Okay.
That's me. I mean,
Hmm.
my experiences, You know, I didn't figure it out, but I thought I did, and I pushed it, and I, you know, made things be what they are and add labels. And then now, once you got a label, now you got to live up to the situation, and maybe I don't want to.
Oh, wow.
I don't know.
But live up to good question. And like you said, live up to the label.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you said, how long do you feel like it takes?
Mm. Everybody's situation is different, but I will tell you this.
Okay.
I'll tell you
Okay.
this that the man that I am today, I'm really not into labels and stuff and trying to determine out the outcome because all my life I was a planner and I planned things out and it better happen by this day. And when I say better, that's how my mindset is. Oh, it better happen by this date, and I'll be the one who wrote it down somewhere and I go back and check. And if it's not where I feel that it should be at, now I feel a certain way. So I learned today that
Okay.
that person has died, right? So he's gone. The new me is just every day we're gonna get up and we're gonna live this experience, and whatever happens, happens. There's no like, let's not get into all of that. Now, if I mess around and wake up 10 years from now and you still here, then I guess we good then, right? You know what I'm saying? Like we're not doing all that.
Listen. I kind of have a different perspective on it, but I get it because I
Hmm.
mean, in today's society, a
Hmm.
lot of people just like to go with the flow, to go with the flow of things, especially when it comes to relationships. But however, I'll say because I have a tendency of saying but a lot, but I'm going to say however. I've also learned from my experience that going with the flow means that it doesn't lack direction. And when it doesn't lack direction, it really takes away from the other person having to hold themselves accountable or, the responsibility that comes with, relationships, period. So I kind of, I don't know about that, go with the flow. Even though I am a person that is so bent on, I'm so hell bent on living in the present and being in the now. And maybe,
Hmm.
so that's kind of like a thin line. Let's say that, a thin
Well,
line.
that's cool too. You know, they say it's a thin line between love and hate, and what, and that part really gets me because hell, you love me 1 minute and now you can't stand me. I don't like that. That's tricky. I want to know how, and I never gonna know how, right? Never gonna know why. People be so in love 1 minute and then the next minute they can't stand each other. That part really messes me up, and I can't be bothered with that.
I mean, and I guess that's why it goes back. Well, first, if you take the labels out of it, right? Because, like you said, with labels, I feel like with labels comes expectations. I was asking
Mhm.
someone this the other day. My cousin had gotten married, and so I asked her, "Did anything change?" Because I never understood that concept either, and I was wondering. So now, since your husband, and now that that's your wife, what has changed? And what I liked about their answer, both of their answers, was this: is that nothing changed because we had already lived together, we had already been in a relationship. So just because that's my husband and that's my wife, that's still my girlfriend, that's still my boyfriend. And I think that's where the labels kind of get people all misconstrued because society puts so many
Exactly.
stipulations on labels. And oh,
Hmm.
now that's my husband, that's my wife, so they're supposed to behave and act a certain way. But no, you're still supposed to be girlfriend and boyfriend.
Well,
You
let
get
me.
what I'm saying? Like that shouldn't go out of the window. And that's why I said it's a thin line. And I think that when people fall in and out of love, or 1 minute you hate, 1 minute you love me, the next minute you hate me,
Hmm.
it's basically because you probably never really loved me to begin with. Because what is your definition of love? You get what I'm saying? How do you define love? What is your love language? And maybe that's where the falling in and out so easily comes from.
Hmm.
I think.
That's real deep. I mean, I could say it's true. I mean, I guess you could be with somebody for so many years and realize that you really never loved them, right?
Right, you were probably just in a lot of like with them. You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
Or you just like
Mm-hmm.
certain things about them that you felt like, okay, I can fall in love with this person. But the thing is that people we attract who we are, so it's a mirror effect.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you get what
Uh-huh.
yeah, that's the way I see it. So it's like
I be
people
getting
I
mad at myself sometimes. I'll be like, now how? Excuse me. I know it's 8 o'clock, right? Normally we do this at 10 o'clock. But I'll be asking myself, now how the fuck did you show up? Now we attract what we
Right.
are like, right? So I'll be like, you really have got to do something different because didn't we say that we weren't putting up with this type of person again? And then now they show up. But now what's cool about it though is that I see it early on and I'll be like, all right, I got you. You know?
Okay. And I feel the same way. But let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So when that same person shows up, are you recognizing what it is within you that's still attracting that same type of person? Because that's the only reason why that person keeps showing up.
Yeah.
Different people,
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
there
Same.
there's my Goliath that I really have to tackle, which I know better, and I know that
Okay.
they all have this in common because I have it in me. Um, we ain't gonna go there tonight, but I'll tell you that they're starting to become real camouflaged even more. It's tricky. You be thinking that this person is this, but I'd be like, oh no, you just like the other one, but you real slick now. How you came in,
Because that's a test.
they be getting
I
real
feel like,
slick now.
oh yeah, and it comes back camouflage, and it
Hmm.
might and they might come back and they might have a little bit of, I don't know if you have a list or whatever. I personally don't have a list either, but you know they come back and they meet the criteria of some of the things that might be on your list, or some of the things that you feel like, oh, I want this and that out of a person, and then here this person comes. But it also comes along. I feel like when they come back in that manner, it's a test. It's
Oh
a
yeah,
test
yeah.
to you.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
get what I'm saying? To see, okay, this is what I said that I want. I said that I've healed this certain area and from these type of people. So when person shows up, you know, okay, what are they teaching me about me? And again, oh, you came real slick and easy, but I recognize the behavior. So that means that I still have some inner healing to do. That means that I still have work to do on myself. Because
Hmm.
for me, when I meet and encounter people, I always first of all go to, okay, what do I recognize about them that I've already learned in a previous relationship or situation, and what are they here to teach me? What is this person teaching me about me? Because it's never really about the other person, it's always about you. And it's
Mm.
like, okay, what are you here to teach me? Because I recognize that because I've learned that, I've been there, I've done that, but now since I am where I am, and I'm not that same person from last year, a couple months ago, or whatever. Like, and I've set healthy boundaries, and not you. It's not you. Oh,
Yeah.
you a test.
And you know what? And
You the
that's
fraud.
yeah, that is so cool. Like when you realize that it's not you, you have to
Mhm.
recognize it and I would say exit immediately. Because if you don't, then you keep digging yourself into okay, it's not you, but maybe it's not you, but maybe up with this. It's not you're almost like settling, and don't sit there and
Oh yeah.
settle too long. You can get stuck. It's like being in quicksand, right? When you
Oh
recognize
yeah.
you sinking, you better get out now because it's harder the longer you stay there. You know,
I
you
agree.
can still get out as long as you ain't covered up 100%. You can still get out, but the longer you stay there in that quicksand, the harder it is for you to get out. Sometimes you'll need to, reach out your hand and ask somebody to help pull you out because you're so far deep in. But that's a whole
I
another thing. So,
agree. It is. But you know what I call it? Because
mhm.
it's funny that you said that, but that's just how spirit works. We already know. So I just picked up my book because I'm like, what am I supposed to read, right?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so I picked up something and it went to this page where I had to retreat to heal because again, the enemy knows our weakness. And really, the enemy, to me, I'll say for me, is just those lower parts of ourselves that we still haven't gotten a handle on. It's still our flesh. It's still our insecurities. It's still our people pleasing. It's still our wanting to be loved, but not pouring into ourselves the love that we want someone else to give to us. So it still goes back to having to dig back deep into, okay, you showed up to teach me something about me, and I thank you for the lesson. And it's
Absolutely.
like, yeah, let me retreat and go reheal again. So then again, when the same person, 9 times out of 10, shows back up the next time, you like you're more in tune to who it is that you are because you love yourself on such a deeper level because you're doing the work that
Mhm.
you're able to pick up on them red flags immediately. So I get it. Trust me, I get it. I retreat to heal.
Mm.
Retreat to Reheal.
Mm. There at hand is the book. I don't even know how we got here, but it seems like it's starting to line up to, what your book is about and everything like that. So, Lamia Michelle, talk to us about your book. What's the name of it?
All right. So the name of my book is She Writes from the Heart. I am Lamia Michelle because I usually just go by Mia.
Mm-hmm.
And again, once I had to figure out some lessons because I was attracting certain type of people, you know, I wanted to change my name. I have a saying that I say all the time is change your conduct or change your name. So Mia showed up one way, but how does Lamia show up? So she writes from the heart. And everything that I do is from the heart. Even this
Mm.
conversation with you and I is from the heart. And that's what I
Mm.
like about it. The way it started was the way it was supposed to start. Because I pray for this thing, believe and do it. So, and it's just like being authentically me. So with my book, what I did was I had just moved back to Georgia, and I've been here now for 3 years.
Mm.
And I was unpacking, and I had came across like maybe, oh my God, 10, 15 journals because I am like a serial journaler. I journal, I write every single day. And I came across my journals, and I started reading through them. And I was like, ooh, I done been through some things. And I wanted to end that chapter. I wanted to end those chapters. I wanted to recognize and see the growth within myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And reading through them, I was just like, oh wow. And like I have two grandkids, and so they would always, of course, be on their tablets and looking at TV and talking about, especially the girl Mimi, and she's 9, celebrities and this and that or whatever. And I wanted to leave a legacy for them, so I wanted to write this so that they can see me as somebody, so they can see Gigi. Gigi is an author. Gigi has a book, and
Right.
the hypeness of that.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
so I compiled all my journal notes and
Mm-hmm.
I put them into a book,
I feel
and
you
that's
on
how
that.
we came up with She Writes from the Heart.
Mm. Couple things that you said, and my friend from shout out to Eugenia McCall, who helped save my life 2, 3 years ago from the Bronx, New York. And she always told me, she said, Lauren, whatever you do it from the heart. And when that means is when you're doing it from the heart, that means you have no expectations and you don't expect anybody to do anything in return. And it was so hard to, accept that and understand that from me being so younger and being selfish. I wanted everybody to do something for me. And if I did something for you, I wanted it in return. And when it didn't come in return, trust and believe I showed you that I knew that you wasn't feeling me the way that I was feeling you. So today, I truly understand what it means to do it from the heart and have nothing in return because I just went through a life experience, a life changing experience where, I had to do everything from the heart regardless. I didn't know if the next day you was feeling me, the day after that you wasn't feeling me. All I knew is that I was going on this path and I was going on this journey and I had to do whatever I had to do, whoever was around me, whether you liked me, you didn't like me, I had to do everything from the heart. So I get it. And when you do it from
And
the
it makes
heart,
perfect sense.
yeah, and when you do it from the heart, you get rewarded in so many different ways. And it can be your enemies, it could be whoever. Just as long as you're being sincere and true and doing it from the heart, yes, trust me and believe me that you will get rewarded. Whether someone does not like you, they can't stand you. It could be that person on your job. It could be the person in the church that clearly does not like you, but you are sitting there being authentic and true and doing it from your heart, expecting nothing in return. Trust and believe you will be repaid. And all of that hurt and all of that feeling of what about me? He got you. You'll be covered. Trust and believe. So that's one thing that resonated with me when you were speaking. And then another thing, you were talking about your journals and opening them up, and you were, you know, a serial journaler. Um,
Uh-huh.
I look back at some of my journals from late last year and earlier this year, and I'm like, yeah, we've been through some stuff. We have grown because the stuff that you wrote about then, you don't even want that now.
Exactly.
I ain't want that now. And we ready for this chapter to close. So I'm ready to start burning some shit and releasing it in the, universe and letting it go.
You have to. And see, I was the opposite because I always felt like, and I do still believe that, love is the greatest gift. So for me, everything that I did from the heart was with no expectation. So it didn't matter how people treated me or whatever. I was gonna love and love them so hard because I felt like they needed it. Like you needed my love, you needed what I had to offer because my love is a gift. So you needed what at that space. The problem with what that I encountered and I kept running into, or that I ran into with my last relationship, was that I tried to love him until he became who God created him to be, and I made him that promise. So I lingered and stayed in a situation that was toxic for me, and it became toxic for everyone around me because I made a vow, and I felt like because I did everything from the heart, and because I love so hard, and because that is my gift that God gave me, that God put in me was love, love, love. And I didn't expect, I never expected anything back in return, whether it was a relationship, a friendship, family ship, whatever type of shit. It's like, no, I did that because that's who I am as a person. That's who I am authentically. Like, that's just me. And so I didn't expect things back in return. I did it because I really wanted to see other people happy. My happiness was contingent on other people being happy. And, so it can be both a blessing and a curse. I'll say it like that.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I say that when it comes to loving people, regardless of whether they love you that way or not, for me, it's something that's needed for me to help me break through to the other side. Even the enemies, even the haters, even people who don't care for you. I have had people clearly not like me, and I understand that they don't like me, but I stay so true to myself. And because you stay true to yourself and you continue to do what you're supposed to do,
Uh-huh.
the people around you change. I've seen it so many times. They change. It's like I ain't got to worry about it. Rem- and I remember the time when you didn't like me and you can't stand me. Now you love me.
Right.
So just do it from the heart.
Which is their karma. That's the way I'm beginning to view it now. Like, oh, that's your karma because see, you didn't change who I am as a person because see, my character speaks to me in a way that I love was a gift to you, and if you weren't able to receive it or accept it at that time, trust me, you'll regret it later because you have
What?
to reap what you sow. So
Mm.
no worries, but that's your karma because the
Mhm.
same, like you said, your enemy, your friends that talk about you behind your back and have all these negative things to say to you and then turn around and gotta bless you. Listen, baby, that's your karma because see, I was real, I was true, I came in with zero intention or expectation from you, but only to give you exactly what it was that I wanted back in return. So hey, when you turn around and wonder, dang, why I love this person now all of a sudden? Like I talked about her so bad and I did her so wrong and this and that, and she still didn't tell my business. She still didn't, have anything negative to say about me. She still, prayed for me and said she loved me regardless. Sometimes knowing that people are doing and saying all of these things and they really don't like you, but baby, you gotta reap what you sow. And trust me, I stand firm in words, period. Guess
Mhm.
what? God said, I'll make your enemies your footstool. So you wonder why they circle back around and now they loving on you and this and that. But baby, that's karma. Because you probably mad that you gotta love me. You probably mad that you gotta like me. You probably mad because you don't even understand why. But it was because of my authenticity. It was because I came in with pure intention with no expectations. And it makes
Mm-mm-mm.
them have to reevaluate themselves. So listen, it is what it is.
Well, you
It is what it is.
definitely said enough there, Miss Lamia Michelle. Her book is She Writes from the Heart, and Lamia Michelle. So this book here, what's the concept of it? So I get the journals. You went through pieces of your journal. So what is someone going to get from this?
From some of the reviews that I've gotten so far, and especially even from men and women, it blew my mind. Healing. People said to me how reading my words was their story or is currently their story, and for me to be able to verbalize it or to put it on paper and to say it out loud, it was like, wow, I'm not the only person going through that. Like my one of my reviews stated, you know, like your book is healing for me. I sleep with it under my pillow so I can absorb your words so that, you know, when I'm going through a
Oh,
tough time, I
mhm.
can pick it up and say, okay, and I didn't look at it like that. So, you know, for it, I never wanted to publish a book. I never wanted to be an author. That's not what I set out to do. I needed something to show my grandkids. You know, I needed them to have someone that was um, sort of so-called a celebrity or whatever, however you want to put it, that was tangible and touchable. And I needed them to see that. So I needed them to see me doing amazing things. I needed them to see me being someone other than Gigi. And so my purpose for it was different, but you know, the universe, God, or spirit had a whole different purpose. And so, like a guy, some guy off of Facebook had ordered my book and read it and was like, "OMG, like, oh my God, like, do you understand how powerful you are?" Now, mind you, I don't sit down and read. I have never sat down and read my book ever because I felt like I wrote it. It's my words,
Mm,
and so I know what's in it. And they
mhm.
like, and he was like, but it's so powerful. And you know, I thought that people would look at me as weak. You know, and that's probably why, because I never told anyone I wrote a book or published it until like 2 months after it was done.
Mm.
Because it wasn't for anybody but for me and my grandkids. That was it.
I
But once
feel.
it was out there,
Mhm.
it like it blew my mind. It blew my own expectations because again, I didn't really have any expectations, you know. And so
Yeah.
from like I said, from the people that's read it so far, it's always like, oh my God, it's healing, it's teaching, it's powerful.
So,
I did an author interview like a couple years back, a year or so back, and she was like, it's like walking through a museum and you know you see the painting that's at the back and it grabs your attention and you just gravitate towards
mhm.
it and you want to touch it and you want to feel it and you want to know the meaning behind it. And I really did not know it was that deep.
So I would say that it's like a combination of, know, excerpts, inspirational clips, things that meant for you, just basically, from your heart, just your writings, a collage of
Yes,
different
I
things
like
put
that word.
together. Now, do you have pictures in this book?
I do not. Literally, it is journal notes. I went through all my journals and I
Mm-hmm.
just started putting them. I wrote it, typed it up, of course, and I printed it out, and then I typed it on my laptop, and I submitted it to Amazon, and I didn't have anyone to edit it for me. I didn't know what it meant to write a book. I just
Mm-hmm.
did it my way. I self-published, and you know, I feel like some of the chapters are out of order, but from what other people have told me, in perfect order. And I didn't know to edit certain things or to take certain words out. So when I say that it is real, raw, and authentically me,
Mm-hmm.
it is because I didn't know to change things. I just wrote it how I wrote it in my journal.
One thing that you said about the importance of you writing this book for your grandchildren because you wanted them to see you as something different. I would
Right.
hear me out on this. I would challenge you to be exactly who you are. Don't look at it
Uh-huh.
as you have to be something, some celebrity status or anything like that. By you being who you are and what you are to them, you're already that. And just like you put this book out and there were no expectations and there were no labels and this and that, continue to do what you do. And when you go through that and you continue to do it for them, because that's the intent in the beginning, once you know that you're being sincere and clear and doing it for them, all of that extra stuff is going to come around and that's going to happen anyway. And then they're going to see that as, oh, just the icing on the cake. Oh, I didn't know that because I knew who she was before you even caught on to this whole situation because that's my grandmother. That's my mother. I knew that from day one. So thank you for letting me know how dope she is because I already know that. Like, don't get yourself into a situation where you feel that you have to come out to do something extra to be able to impress them because you are already that. You are already that to them because of who you are. And That's just it. That's it.
Thank you. Listen, I like that. Thank you. I received that most definitely.
Like
Thank you.
when I do, my podcasting and when I write my stuff, um, my fans are my children. That's it. Thank you for coming in while I'm recording.
Can I photobomb you?
No. Get out. I'm
Bye.
recording. They just come right on in when I'm recording. What's up with that? Um, like we do that around here. Anyway, so they are my biggest fans. So I do, and I write my, if anybody read my books and stuff, when they open it up, they see who is dedicated. They see what it is first, because when I'm not here, that's what they're gonna have. So everybody else, all of that is just the icing on the cake.
I agree. I
Yeah.
couldn't agree with you more.
Mm. Well, now that my nerves are shot, first time that has ever happened here on Reading Between the Lines. Go ahead and tell them where they can go ahead and follow you at and get your book. She Writes from the Heart. I am Leah Michelle.
Yes. So you can find my book on Amazon currently. And it should be exactly as it's stated on the title. She Writes from the Heart. I am Lamia Michelle. It has a picture of me on the cover. And it's so funny because I took this picture on my phone. And I don't have an iPhone. I still have an Android. And it was
Wait
just,
a minute.
I don't
Oh,
know.
hold up, back up. We had this conversation today. Now let's talk about the phone. You said you don't have what?
I don't have iPhone. I have Android.
Okay,
And
what's wrong with that? This is the home of Android. We don't do iPhones over here. We don't do any Apple products over here. It is what it is. So you came to the right place. But go
yes,
ahead.
alignment. Alignment for sure.
Now,
And you guys can follow me. I'm sorry. Go
no, go
ahead.
ahead. No, you go ahead. They can follow you.
I'm on Facebook as Mia Pierce, and I am on Instagram under Planet PLANTED underscore Seeds SEEDS. And I think that's it, Planet Seeds. So I'm currently on Facebook and Instagram. I have a TikTok and all that stuff, but it's really not geared towards my writings or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do have another author's page that's also on Facebook, author Lamia Michelle. And I also have an author's page somewhat on Instagram underscore I am Lamia Michelle.
All right, Miss Lamia Michelle. Now we're getting ready to get into burning questions, which is a segment in the show where I basically flip it and put my guests in a hot seat. So we've already been talking about some of these questions here, and I just want to see if this aligns us, which I'm sure it will. And
Okay.
I want to say this here. So the question tonight is when it comes to sympathy, like today I was feeling a certain way. Do you look outward? Because some people, oh, I'm feeling so this, I'm feeling so that. Let me go ahead and tell you my story. Because if I tell you my story, then you're going to sympathize with me and you're going to make me feel a certain way. Or are you the type of person that turns inward for reflection? When it comes to sympathy, do you look outward for people to, share your story with people, have them sympathize with you? Or do you keep some things to yourself and turn inward for self reflection and ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? What do we need to do to get over to the next level?
Hmm.
All right, now if this helps out, you ever know somebody going through something, right? And they be like, you won't believe what happened here. How about this? How about that? And they just start having diarrhea of the mouth, right? And they just start saying
Uh-huh.
all types of stuff just so that you can go ahead and react, tell them how you feel
Okay.
about it. And then by you telling them how you feel about it and giving them advice, half the time you give them advice and they ain't gonna listen any damn way. They're gonna turn around and do what they want to do in the first place. So what the hell you turn around here and start asking questions and inquiring and bitching and complaining for? Because you're gonna turn around and do whatever you want to do anyway. But Are you that type of person, or the type of person that's like, listen, I'm going through some stuff right now. I ain't even gonna bother you with it. I ain't even gonna say anything. I'm gonna just keep it to myself, and I'm gonna just keep it moving, and I'm gonna turn inward. Find out why I'm feeling this way. Why am I feeling jacked up right now?
For me personally, I'm an inward person. I really don't like to really express how I feel too often to too many people because, like you said, 9 times out of 10 they don't really care and they just want to know your business. So I'm a person that I like to do a deeper inner reflection, and again, like that's why I journal so much, you know. So it's like I'm gonna see where I've made my mistakes, or you know, like again, where is this emotion coming from? Why do I feel like this? Is this feeling real? You know, am I overanalyzing? Am I overthinking? Or why am I sad? Why do I feel this way? Am I giving too much of my power away to something outside of me that belongs to me? You know, I'm just more of a I'm a I'm gonna internalize it and I'm gonna sit with myself and reflect on it until I come up with the best possible solution or answer to how it is that I feel. Because I just don't believe that. I think that we give too much of our power away by giving it to other people, allowing them to make us happy or sad or to make us feel any type of way. So I'm gonna reflect about it.
People who are undeserving. It's not nothing wrong with giving some of it away, but when you give it to the wrong people, I would say that I am an inward person too, right? I'm an inward person to the point where it's just too much inward, right? And now I start to feel a certain way. You can read it; it's written all over my face, and then I'll maybe start to share with people, um, which is not good. You have to have that easy balance because when you start to share, sometimes because you held it in for so long, you start to share too much. And then when you share too much, then you be going back and forth with yourself on the inside. So I would say normally I would turn inward, and I'm always turn inward first. But I have to have that healthy balance to know, okay, you've been sitting here, you've been dealing with this situation, you have been dealing with this problem for long enough now. So now maybe you might need to go ahead and reach out to somebody. Not I want your sympathy, because trust and believe, whatever situation I'm in right now, I got myself in it. I don't care what it is. You can sit here and point the finger and blame it on anybody else that you want. But whatever you have going on in your world today is because of what you said or what you spoke over your own life. And
exactly.
it is what it is. Like, I could say that, yes, this happened to me, but why did this happen to you? Because you were in this situation. And why are you in this situation? Because of the things that you've said and done that led you up to where you are here today. So, that's just it. Just having a healthy balance. Me, I would say I turn inward, but personally, for my own personal growth and development, I need to learn how to have that healthy balance. I'm not going to be the one to run and be like, hey, guess what's going on? Let me tell you this. Let me tell you that. Negative. That's not me. You're not going to get that. Sometimes people got to be like, you all right?
Right,
I know
and that's
you.
me too. That's me. And I had this conversation a couple of days ago with a girlfriend of mine because I said, you know, I sit over here by myself most of the time in my house, and no one knew that I was over here sick and I wasn't feeling well or whatever because I have a problem with trust. So again, it's getting to the root of okay, why do I trust people? Where did that stem from? Because I'm not going to tell you that something is wrong with me. I'm going to be the person that's going to put on a happy face and on the inside I'm dying and pain and can't even function. And when you walk away or leave, I'm in my house and I'm really like going deep into meditation and prayer, you know, but I'm not going to say I'm not okay. And it's okay to not be okay. And it goes back to having the people in your life that you can confide in and that you can trust, that you know that, okay, what I say to you is going to be between me and you. And then again, on top of that, I'll say, and that to add to that is, I know the way that I pour, and I'm always the strong person, and I'm always the strong friend, and I'm always the motivator, and I'm always the one that inspires. I'm always the one that people call and can you pray for me, and can you do this, and can you do that. But as much as I pour, when I'm empty, who fills me back up? And so I had to realize that I deserve to be filled back up too. But can I trust you to fill me up?
No, you trust yourself. You have to fill yourself up. And you can't really anybody trying to fill you up, because when you do that, you set yourself up for failure. You set yourself up for more disappointment. You set yourself up for more depression and more why me. So that's the problem when we rely on other sources from the outside to make us feel a certain way. It comes from within first, which you already know that. We already know this. We speak it, we talk about it, we post it on our pages, we do all of these things, but it is our mind that puts us in these situations. Your mind is the most powerful being that you got going on with inside you, and that's why you have to master your mind. But listen, your mind is so powerful. It's the most powerful thing ever, that you're always going to have that fight.
Exactly.
You're
But
always going to have that fight.
well, how because even still, we're not designed. We weren't created. We didn't come from non-physical to physical form to live and do life alone. And everybody needs somebody. You know, like it would be nice to be able to pick up the phone and call someone and say, hey, or even when someone calls to check and say, are you okay today? To be like, guess what? I'm not. So I make it a habit when I ask people, how are you doing? I really want to how you're doing, your heart, how's your mind, how's your mental, you know, how do you really feel, how are your emotions, because I know what I go through alone, and it can be very, very lonely, but it has also strengthened me as well. But it would be nice to have someone that, you know, sometimes you just need someone to listen and know that it is between you and I, and it's not going to go any further than that. So on both perspectives, really.
We can go into so many deep conversations on this, because this is life. This is what happens, and there's never no right answer. Basically, how are you feeling at the moment? And that's basically how are you feeling at the moment, right here in this given moment. And the season that I'm in right now, I would say that asking people, maybe because I'm still going through a healing phase, I'm not 100% healed yet. Um, Asking people too much and having them pour out their situation, I'm not ready for that. You know, for me, I'm not ready for that. So I'm very cautious. I want to stay peaceful. It's been so many years since I've been in peace, and now that I'm finally here, I'm protecting that at all costs. So I do a lot of praying, and I hear a lot of stuff on a day-to-day basis. Just a couple of days ago, I was hearing something, and the whole time that the person is talking to me, I'm praying on the inside, like, Lord, please, like, make them stop. I get that they're going through something, but I am too. But even though that I'm going through something, I'm not pouring that out and projecting that and displaying that for them. I get that I am who I am, and they see all of this, and they just thinking I'm gonna come and, you know, help give them all the answers. And it's like, no, I'm just not there yet. I'm not that one yet. And
I mean, and I get that because, like you said, though, it comes, especially when you've done the inner work. Oh my goodness, that's my daughter. No, not right now. I get. Once you begin to go on a journey of healing and you begin to do the inner work and you begin to recognize your own toxic traits and you're doing the work to heal from those things, you do want to protect your peace at all costs. I just was saying that, like, I don't care who you are, if I have to cut you off, if you come to disturb my spirit and my peace, then you have to go because I still have to deal with me. And what I recognize within myself is when people come to me to vent or tell their problems or dump all their stuff on me, that it leaves me drained.
Yeah, like I don't want to hear all that mess.
It's a negative energy exchange.
I do not. Yeah, I do not want to hear all that. Take all that baggage and that stuff with you. I trust and believe I got my own. I don't need you to be dropping yours off too. Now I got to deal with yours and mine.
But then when they leave, you just, you return it back to them. You return that energy right back to sender. And it's like, I've had certain situations and recounted certain situations where I wanted to get in a pity pot. I call it my pity pot. And I wanted to feel sorry for myself and I wanted to have a pity party for myself. And in those moments, I'm like, God, oh my God, please just help. And someone else will call me and be going through something 10 times worse than what it is that created in my mind that I think that I'm going through, which 9 times out of 10 just come from not setting healthy boundaries and not trusting your intuition, and it takes away from what it is that I'm going through. So if that's what I said. So it goes back to that thin line thing. So it can really be a thin line. It can be like, okay, God, listen, I'm going through this right now, and I need help. I need an answer. I need something. And then here's somebody else come calling you to dump all their stuff off on you. But it takes away from you focusing on what it is that you think that you're going through at that time. And then it also makes you realize that what I'm going through, it really wasn't even that deep compared to what it is that they're going through. And listen, after the conversation, sometimes people just need you to listen. And then you just return it right back to them. Okay, I'm going sage. I'm going Palo Santo. I'm going to go put my feet in the dirt.
I need
and
to.
I'm going to release that energy right back to them.
I need to work. I need to work on how to return energy. That's probably my problem. I hold on to a lot of. You are absolutely right. If you haven't said one thing tonight, you said that. I hurt for people sometimes, and when they tell me these stories and it stay with me, I'll be minding my business somewhere else, and all of a sudden think about a conversation or think about something that somebody told me, and now I'm feeling a certain way, and I feel sorry for them, and I guess that's what happens when you're an empath. But no,
Oh, yeah.
no. But that's something that I have to work on. But thank you, thank you so much for coming on. I can't believe we are up against the clock here.
I
Lamia
know.
Michelle. What is the book called again?
It is called She Writes from the Heart. I am Lamia Michelle, and you can find it on Amazon. As I stated, I self-published myself, and so I was kind of trying to revise it, but I did a book club, and a lot of the women in the book club was like, no, leave it how it is. So just besides like a few, not even grammar errors or anything like that, but just as far as font and print and alignment, as far as they're the minor things I want to say that I have to revise about it, but everything else is just again as it should be. So I kind of just been going back and forth about changing it and revising it and doing it over and this and that. And initially, like page 1 immediately states, and I want to say this before we end, because I have wrote this. Some of my chapters are written out of order. I guess those are the times let me start over. Are you drinking your wine? Because I started drinking mine.
I'm like almost halfway through this bottle. Almost.
Oh, okay. So it says some of my chapters are written out of order. Guess those are the ones that I repeated previously unlearned lessons. And I felt like, why did I write that? But again, they're in the order that they're supposed to be in, just like this podcast, just like me talking to you. The conversation went the way that it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
And we just have to trust that.
I agree. I totally agree. Like everything that was written in this show some of it was written for somebody else, but then the way that it works, the universe was like, absolutely not. These questions, this whole vibe, this whole situation, the other person would have not been able to handle it properly, so things just don't happen. Which I don't fight and I don't argue anymore. I used to try to force things. When I first started podcasting, I would force things and I would make it work. And I would, just be doing too much, if that makes sense, to try to make it work. And now I don't. I just go with the flow. It is what it is. If we press play today, we press play today because you're supposed to be on this show. Now, if we don't do it, then that's just exactly what that means. Then we just don't do it because it's not supposed to happen. Rewinding and thinking about what we talked about in the beginning when it comes to these relationships too, and people, friendships, whatever it is, if it don't work, that's what it is. And what I've learned today is that when it's over, that's exactly what that means. When you say that enough is enough and I'm done and I can't no longer do this, that's exactly what that means. And the quicker that you're able to accept and learn and move on, the better that you're able to get to the next level in this game called life. The minute that you don't, and you stay stuck and you ask questions why, and you hold on, you're still on that same level while everybody else is upgrading and leveling up. And this is life, and you either get it together or you stay stuck. So, hey.
Perfectly said. I couldn't agree with you more. And I love it, and it makes perfect sense. And it's like I was saying, because I do affirmation cards when I go on Facebook, and all things work together for my good. So even the ending of a chapter is the beginning of a new one. And I was saying to someone today, like power moments has to happen. The relationship has to end. And either the relationship, whatever type of relationship that it is, it doesn't necessarily have to be between, two people like in a lover relationship or whatever. It can be relationships with family. It could be relationships with whoever no longer serves a purpose for the season that you're going in. And when things have to end, it's either showing you growth. It really just shows you that you've grown in that area. So that doesn't serve me anymore. So I can let that go and I can release it peacefully. And it doesn't have to be anything personal. It's just that you served your purpose, you served your chapter. And one thing I do want to say is in my book, I left a few blank pages.
Mm-hmm.
And what I wrote is said is this: when you come across a blank page, that is your opportunity to rewrite your story. That's the blank page is for you to write something new. It's to take the lesson that you learned previously and apply it, and now you can do something different to show yourself how much you have grown, not to show the other person. People are allowed, and that was one of the lessons I had to learn last summer. People are allowed to not choose me. People are allowed to not choose
Absolutely.
my
Yeah.
love. My love can
Mm-hmm.
be too much for some people because I know that it requires them to level up. Because if I hold myself accountable, I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to hold you accountable. So when you no longer fit that mold, I can't come back down to where you are. You have to come up to where I
I'm
am.
done.
Do you know how much work I did to
I'm
get to
done.
where I am?
I am so done with you right now. I am done
So
with
you
you
know,
right
the
now.
best conversation.
Thank you so much for that because now I'm always going to keep that. I needed that because we be questioning. We be, like I said, your mind could be playing tricks on you. That mind is
Mm-hmm.
very tricky. It want to go back to that normal thing that you used to. It want to go back to that lovey-dovey stage. That felt good. All of that was wonderful. So, damn well that you done leveled up. Damn well that you done superseded all expectations, and that other person right there that's supposed to be loving you the right way, giving you the right things, but that's new, that's uncomfortable. I've never seen this before, so you run away from it just to step back
Yep.
down to something that is no longer serving you or no longer good for you, and then you wonder why you're so miserable because it ain't working so well and they ain't doing the things that they were supposed to be doing. You know.
But sometimes they just don't know how. I'm writing. I told you I journal every single day, and I was in a situationship, which I didn't know I was in a situationship, but I found out I was in a situationship, and I prayed about it and I meditated about it, and when you tap in and tuned in, and again, you're developing yourself and digging much into your healing and not just healing on the surface. You get messages, you get downloads, and I had to say to this person, and hopefully they not listen, but it's okay. Um,
No, we
you're so
hope we
used
hope they
to being
listening.
loved from a broken place that when a whole love, a healed love comes along, you don't know how to accept it. And that's just the way Spirit gave it to me. And it made so much sense to me because, again, our mind begin to, am I doing something wrong? I gave this person the best parts of me. But 9 times out of 10, they can't even reciprocate it anyway. So for me, my love language is reciprocity, baby. You got to be able to meet me where I am or be a step or a level higher that you can pull me up, but I can't allow you to pull me back down. So, hey,
we been
listen, it
we
is what it is.
maybe I'm not 100. I know I'm not 100%, but sometimes we just be wanting to be a little petty. And I know you said we hope. I know you said we hope that they ain't listening. They listening. You know they listen. I mean, all of mine are listening. They all listen. They be some of the biggest fans at the time.
And it's okay though, because it's like, listen, I still love you, but I can't give you all the love that I gave you in the beginning that you took for granted, because then what is that saying about me? And it's unfortunate that you're not ready for the love that I give, but it just means that, hey, it just wasn't for you. Or just because it wasn't for you don't mean that I don't get another opportunity to give it to someone else that is deserving. Like you said, deserving of what it is that I have to offer. And that goes back to knowing who you are in relationships, knowing what I to the table. And yet we all come with the situations or whatever. But again, I'm confident in who it is that I am, and especially in a relationship, I know what I bring.
That's it. Miss Lamia Michelle. Thank you so much. You got me in some trouble tonight.
I
But
hope not.
nah, I'm good. This wine might have done it. Venetian Moon. 12.
Oh,
It's 12% Pinot Grigio. Think I got it right.
nice.
I gotta get my angle right. Oh, there we go. We got it good. Venetian Moon, Pinot Grigio, 12%. It's good. It's 80 degrees here in New Jersey. It's 9 o'clock at night, and I ain't tired. And I'm ready to continue to keep going on, but I need to get off of here. I know that for sure. So, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you. We had so many things. We had people screaming. We had, people walking through the door. I almost knocked over my bottle of wine. Somebody was asking you questions while we were recording. This is life. It is what it is. We got through it though. Thank you.
We did. Thank you for having me. It is always a pleasure to conversate with you and to be on your platform. I think you are the bomb. I think you are everything.
Oh,
And
thank
I
you
just
so
love our
much.
conversations. It just goes to show how much you and I are in alignment because it's just like having a conversation with a friend. And it's
Absolutely.
just like, we just go.
Yeah.
And I love
Absolutely.
it.
Thank you. I love you. I will talk to you soon, and yeah, we'll get together soon.
Yes.
Okay.
I look forward to it.
Take care.
Thank you.
Good night. Well, there you have it, y'all. Author Lamia Michelle. Long time coming. I know we tried to make this happen, and timing was everything, and we're right here. Thank you so much for coming on into Reading Between the Wines, Wine Down Wednesday. Again, I said thank you so much to so many people out there who continue to rock with me. You have no idea. It wasn't easy press and play today. And I did, what I had to do, and I needed to be true. I needed to be authentic. I needed to speak my story. And I never want to come out here not being true and not being authentic. So I picked songs and I picked music to help me get through whatever I'm going through. And that's what this is about. This is who I am. Music saved my life. So I'm here to tell you the real raw deal. If I'm not feeling it, if I'm going through something, you're going to get it by the song that I pick. You're going to get it by the artist that I pick. You know who my favorite artist is. You understand, when I bring out that artist, this is some real shit because that music helped save me and helped get me to where I am today. So I don't play with it. I understand that music is a tool and it's my vessel to help keep me through. It's that to help push me and help elevate me to the next level. So I never play with music and I never play with the songs that we pick and all this stuff here. There's a reason for it all behind it. Thank you so much, Will Serve. Thank you for joining in. Um, don't let the wine fall. Appreciate your streaming. Been busy, but I always catch the replay. Thank you so much. Um, so yeah, I have to keep it real. And like I said, this show was specifically written for Lamia. I didn't understand it at the time when I was writing it yesterday, but it was saved and it was preserved for the right person. And I understand that this is my ministry. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I have to just continue to push along and stay true to who I am so that I can be real and give it to you the way that I know how to give it to you. Thank you for the people who rock through Facebook. I love you. Twitter, I have to say thank you so much to Twitter. I don't know where the love came from, but all of a sudden, like 20 people came out of nowhere. Thank you so much to Twitter. I love all of the support there. Again, follow me on TikTok at Laren Gaines. If you want to see small portions or clips of the show, check me out on Daily Motion. Um, of course, I have to thank my executive producer, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, for allowing me to come out here and give you this show one more time in life. Thank you so much to Lamia Michelle, and yes, Mary J. Blige all day. Like that's it. Without Mary, without that My Life album, I wouldn't even be here today. So I have a responsibility to continue to help other people get through. And I know you got that artist out there. I know that person is the person that you're looking up to, and that's your everything at that moment. And listen, keep pushing, keep striving, keep doing the right thing. And as long as you ain't hurting nobody, and the music that you are listening to has a message behind it and is very clear, and it ain't out there about shooting and killing and doing this and doing that, as long as it's about uplifting and healing and pushing you over to the next level, there ain't nothing wrong with it. Author Lauren Schultz, what's going on? Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you all. I appreciate you. I will see you when I 411 podcast tomorrow, p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On that note, thank you so much. The wine that we had tonight, Venetian Moon, Pinot Grigio, 12%. It was really good. Try to get my angles right. Yeah, Venetian Moon. Oh, see, the whole time, I'm sorry, y'all. All I had to do was just push the bottle closer to the camera. That's a shame. I finally figured it out after I don't know how many recordings we've done. Okay, y'all. Take care. Good night. Thank you so much.